Hey, what's up? This is Jordan Burns from the band Strung Out, and this is my beautiful Mapex drum set. And wanted to give you guys a little introduction to everything that I'm playing. You know, my setup consists of 3 rack toms. We've got the 10-inch, the 12-inch, the 13-inch I play. A lot of people play a 14-inch, but I prefer to stick with the 13-inch. And of course we got the 16-inch floor tom here. And these are all Mapex Orion. You know, these toms are actually a little bit shallower than the toms from my previous kits. So it actually took me a little bit getting used to them. I know that you're looking at these thinking that they're pretty deep toms, but actually the ones on my past kits are a little bit bigger, you know, like more of a power tom, I guess. But these shells are really nice, and you know, you get really a lot of punch out of them. And of course, you know, that helps from these killer Remo heads. You know, I've been using the black suede Emperors across the toms, and they're a really sweet sounding drum head. You know, what it is I find that these heads are like an in-between of a clear Emperor and a coated Emperor. You know, so it's kind of like the middle ground. And you still get a lot of attack out of this drum head. It seems like 90% of the punk drummers from within our scene only are using the standard 4-piece kit, you know, and I've just never done that. I always like to have a range of toms to go to, you know, because I have a lot of like metal inspiration from other drummers, and I like to get around the toms. So on the bottom of these toms here, what I've got going is it's a new head. It's Remo's making it's like a black glossy ebony head, ebony ambassador, and I just like the look of them, you know, because it's a really nice gloss black on the bottom of the head. Kind of would like them on the top, but it would probably wear off pretty quick too. But it's a really good head, and you can tune them up, and they sound, you know, standard. You would normally be using just a clear ambassador on the bottom, and I find that these heads are working great on the bottom for me. And they look great. So, you know, what's going on here with this snare drum situation is we're up here in, you know, the lovely area of the offices of Drum Magazine in San Jose. And we came and we unloaded our stuff, and magically I don't have a snare drum in our trailer. So turns out that I had to borrow this DW snare drum from one of the other bands, and he hooked me up with it just so we could get through sound check. But luckily the opening band does have a Black Panther snare drum, and that's on the way, so I will be performing with a Mapex snare drum. I've been with ProMark drumsticks for probably a good, you know, 14-15 years too, and they've been taking care of me forever. I've been using these. These are 2B Naturals, and with of course a nylon tip. And for me, I feel like a nylon tip stick is very important. I just enjoy the sound of it. The nylon tip,
on the cymbals in particular.
On the ride in particular. The most important thing for me is like to get the ping out of the ride, and you know, ProMark hooks me up and puts our band name on there, you know, gets a little strung out, and I got my signature on there. And another thing you'll notice is I've been using these, you know, the ProMark stick wraps, and these have just been like a savior for me, because the way that my hand is able to grip the stick with this wrap on is much better than the plain one. You know, my hands will get sweaty, and it doesn't matter, you know, so much, because I have this trusty ProMark grip tape on here. I've been using the DW pedals for quite a long time, and I've switched back and forth. I've went back and forth from playing the 5000 to the 9000, and recently I've just went back to the 5000. You know, a lot of players like the 9000, but for me, the 5000 has a little bit of a heavier feel to it, and I prefer that. You know, the 9000 is just—it's a really smooth pedal, and I think it's a hair too smooth for me. I am, of course, using all Mapex hardware. as I have forever. And you know, the Mapex hardware has really, really come a long way. In the beginning, when I was playing Mapex, a lot of the hardware stripped out all the time, and there was issues. So they've definitely they've stepped it up big time with their hardware department, and they make some really good stuff. And you know, one thing that I really enjoy about the cymbals is the way they position the ball joint underneath. So you have that little ball joint under there where you can adjust your cymbal out to any direction you want. So let's talk about the cymbals here. What I'll start with first is one of my favorite cymbals that I've used on every single recording I've ever done. It is my favorite ride cymbal, and it is the Paiste 2002.
That's a classic, yeah.
22-inch power ride, and I just love this cymbal, and I love the way, I love the ping that it gives. I love the bell. Notice right now I'm using the Paiste Rudes.
Yeah.
Wild crashes. You just look at like some of the heavy players that use them. I mean, Dave Lombardo, you know, Paul Bostaph, a lot of like really heavy players. And you know what's funny is like these cymbals, pretty much my singer hates these cymbals.
Why?
Because he's always complaining that they're so loud.
Huh. And
as a drummer, that makes me happy.
That's why you love them,
you know? Yeah. They're a super powerful cymbal. You know, we got the 18-inch crash right here. So I run 18. I run 19 in the middle, and then I got the 20-inch crash right over here.
Now, do you find there's a lot of difference in tone between like 18 and 19 or 19 and 20?
I find that there definitely is difference, and there's enough difference to justify, you know, using 18, 19, 20. Over here, I'm using the 20-inch China.
Rude China?
And it is a Rude China. What I'm using here is the 14-inch Rude hi-hats, and you know, these pack a lot of power. At the same time, I think they definitely have a lot of crispness to them, and you know, they've got a lot of definition in them. Like when you've got the hi-hats closed and tight, you know, you can still get, you know, still get a lot of stick out of them, and I think they're a really powerful, good sounding hi-hat. So hey, look what the cat dragged in, the old mighty Black Panther. And you know, I'm really stoked that this arrived here on the scene, because this will be the drum that I'm playing with tonight. And of course, that's what I want to play with. Black Panther, Mapex, they make a great product, and this is a great snare drum, and that's what I'm going to be rocking tonight. So that snare drum is out. This one is in.